Hello from Closutton, the home of Willie Mullins. This man knows how to train a few Cheltenham Festival winners. 103 he's had so far, and no doubt there'll be plenty more this year. We're here ahead of the Dublin Racing Festival, just over a week away, to check out how his big contenders are going to line up. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the Tote's YouTube channel. We've got all the big hitters hopefully coming before Cheltenham, and plenty more content as well, including with our Tote ambassador, Danny Mullins. So hit that like and subscribe button. Now let's hear what he said to the media, the big man, Willie Mullins.
Sorry, hold on. 3, 2, 1, let's go.
Sorry.
Yeah, Galopin Des Champs, delighted how he's come out of his race. I think we're all set for Leopardstown and maybe another showdown with FABIOLO, and Embassy Gardens is in the mix as well. Vanilla Cocooner, so we have a nice team from Closutton going there. Yeah, I mean, to me, Galopin was awesome, and he put in 2 huge performances in Leopardstown, you know, they're both Gold Cups. Savos. So, yeah, I mean, he just loves Leopardstown, and hopefully he can do it one more time. Yeah, Embassy Gardens just disappointed us a little last year in the National Hunt Chase, I think it was. And so this year, you know, when we went down to Tramore, there was nothing making the pace, and I said to Mikey, you know, if you bounce out, he loves galloping, he loves jumping, see what happens. And it worked out fantastic. Mikey was really delighted with him. We were, Sean and Bernardine were as well, you know, so Fast or Slow went, and now they might have another horse to take over as their #1 horse. So we're very pleased with him. We're just a little bit worried about his second half of the season form last year. So we've got to, you know, we're going to do a bit of soul searching before we allow him run and find out. A lot of people said maybe he's better fresh. I'm not so sure that. I think maybe I should have him fresher coming from home rather than training him as hard as we did train him. But we'll see. We'll see how the season goes. FABIOLO is good. I think both, you know, JP and Mark are probably keen to take on Galopin Des Champs again, and so I'm sure he'll, all being well, he will line up. Well, I think he'll probably have to do something different. I'll leave that to Mark and see what he wants to do. He might have a different tactic up his sleeve, but I won't discuss that until the parade ring before the race, you know.
And looking back on his performance the last day, you know, maybe a little bit keen.
A bit gassy, all right, yeah. So, but I think as horses go through the season, they're inclined to be less keen, and he'll probably race a lot better for that, I think.
And would the Gold Cup still be, like, are staying trip still at the forefront of your mind with him, or is potentially coming back in trip an option in your head?
He has options, but that's for other days in the DRF. We're talking about the DRF here.
On the DRF, if I might just jump in, Willie, FABIOLO, we haven't seen much of him recently.
No.
What's his state of fitness in terms of where he wanted to be?
Hopefully I'll have him ready for that. He did a nice bit of work yesterday. He hasn't been himself to my satisfaction this year. He's a little bit more difficult to train, and but you know, I hope to have him to get a run into him there, and maybe he'll be the last quarter of the season, I suppose. We can't say the second half of the season anymore. We're well into that, so yeah, I'm hoping to get Grade 1 performances out of him yet. We've got a few festivals to go. Statement goes to Leopardstown, yeah?
Yeah. Did anything
definitely
show off though from last time?
No, I don't think so. Nothing that we...
It wasn't the real state man. You're pretty adamant it wasn't. It wasn't the real state man that ran.
Oh, he didn't turn up. He didn't turn up now. We were very disappointed, yeah. But
first day in his life that he didn't run his race pretty much.
Yeah, disappointing, you know, on all counts, and I don't know why, but hopefully we can get him back to himself, and we'll only know on the day. But we're happy what he's doing at home. So.
Was it a mad race? You know, like when you've 2 horses going off hard, Paul is trying to keep him in his comfort zone. Or was he just genuinely not himself in the day?
I mean, the winner put in some performance. I'd be delighted to have her in the yard here, and hear that, Michael? But it was a huge performance. I mean, I was in the stand. I was in awe of the performance she put in, and you know, so our fellow, maybe the pace, disappointed at Christmas. But never knock a horse for one bad run. We don't anyhow. You always forgive a horse one bad run, and he's our #1 contender. You know, like Lossiemouth, when she went to Kempton, she just couldn't handle the pace because we'd been settling her all the time. in those 2.5 mile races, and she set off at a 3 mile pace, and you could see that the men's pace went up. I said, Christ, we're not competitive here. To me, the race was gone before she hit the first hurdle, and I thought she ran well considering where she jumped off and the pace she jumped off at, what was in her head and what we'd been teaching her for the last couple of years. It'll be different the next day.
Do you think she'll sharpen up from that in her head, or
we'll just sharpen her at home. Yeah. Simple. Press a different button.
When is the next day, Willie?
We're talking about Dublin Racing Festival here. Could well be that. It could well be that. We haven't decided on our next engagement yet. She's in obviously at Dublin, and she's in at the weekend. But we'll have a war council the next 24 hours and then decide.
ANZADAM, too big.
ANZADAM, Willie, I suppose you have to pitch him into that sort of company.
He will. I'm trying to find an intermediate race for him. And is the Red Mills, maybe something like that? You know, I might just do that. He's in Dublin Racing Festival, but I'm going to have a look and see what. I think the Red Mills is about the only. It's a bit. Say that again.
Isn't there a race in Nace on Sunday?
Is he entered for it? I didn't look through the entries. I had all these people coming here this morning, so. Is he in? Yeah, what race is that?
It's a grade 3, isn't it?
What? A Limestone Lad, yes. Yeah, that's the other race I was trying to think of. Yeah. So he's probably stuck in that. That might be it.
And just with him, Willie, do you think, like in your mind, is he kind of ready to go at the top level this season?
ANZADAM, yeah. We had him as a juvenile, and I think he hurt. I think he gave himself a bang somewhere, and we couldn't get him out. I was so disappointed we couldn't get him to Cheltenham, even though we had MAJBOROUGH in the race and whatever else we had. ANZADAM was right up there with him, you know. So that's the sort of company I put him in with. Hope I'm right, but he has to go up. We'll see.
While you mentioned him there, MAJBOROUGH, obviously
in great order, yeah. So he looked Arkle material there. So he handled Leopardstown well. So very pleased to go back. Very keen to go back there. Yeah.
I suppose his jumping and everything seemed to tick all the boxes really for a lot of people. Did it impress you as much as it impressed everyone else?
It did. I mean, I was, you know, my heart was in my mouth. When you have a horse like that of that caliber going, you know, I find other people enjoy them more than I do. I would enjoy watching other people's horses because there's no pressure. As I said, when I was watching Battle Over, Brighter Days Ahead, you know, I thought, wow, it was awesome. I was, you know, I enjoyed it. Whereas when you're watching your own horse do that, you say, oh, Jesus, will he fall to the next? Will he genuflect, or what will he do? So my heart's in my mouth every time he puts in one of those spectacular jumps. You're waiting for the worst to happen all the time. So I actually don't enjoy my own runners putting in performances like that as much as other people do. Yeah, I think he'll have to let him go in the Arkle, and then we can decide whether he go back to Fairyhouse or to Aintree for the 2.5 mile grade 1, you know.
Is ground important for him? Yeah, sorry, same. Is ground important for him? Or?
I didn't think so, but I imagine softer ground is probably better. Is that what you were thinking?
Yeah.
I think he's a lovely action, but possibly ground over 2 miles might be too, and he's another one that maybe I just need to keep a little bit fresher at home. You know, sometimes you just keep training them, and it's only after the season's over you think, oh, did we do too much with him after his first run? Some horses take so little work, but it's hard. It's very hard going down to a big festival to say, I won't gallop him. I won't gallop. I'll do one less bit of work, because I mean, my father was very good at that, and I'm learning to have that sort of confidence, not to have to work every horse to the nth degree to win. That as the season goes on, you relax a bit more with them, but then you kick yourself when jockey comes in and said he needed another gallop, you know. So I'm not sure where in Perry Pascal. Ballyburn will probably run all right, and Dancing City, just have to have a look at where did he run last? Punchestown, was it?
Punchestown, yeah.
That's how long ago? Dancing City, he'll probably go there, yeah. So You probably
Ballyburn,
picked
do you think he ran his race?
picked the wrong race that you. For me. No, I think Ballyburn just we found out there and then that he couldn't jump with. Now, Sergino could be a superstar, so if there wasn't Sergino in the race, he might have been adequate. But at least we found out that we're not going down the 2 mile route with him, which disappointing to bring him over there and get beaten. But my only other option was to go to Limerick, and we had the race set out for Imperi Pass in Limerick, and I said, what's the point of burning 2 bullets down there for one race? And we thought, let's go over there. He should have gone to Leopardstown, but of course they took away that race and whatever.
And was the firm conclusion in your mind that that race says he's not a 2 miler?
I sort of had that conclusion in my mind. I was surprised that was he favoured for the Supreme Novice Hurdle last year, and we ran him in the other race, and I've been happy with that. I think with looking at his pedigree, looking at the stamp of horse he is, he's got Stayer written all over him, I think, and hopefully his attitude will let him stay. He'll have to settle and he'll have to do a lot of more things right, but that's all part of growing up, I don't know. I think Patrick probably just kept him to the outside, kept him near the outside wings, and that's a big help, so he didn't give him much room to run down a fence. And sometimes when you just bottle up a horse, he has to jump straight, he'll jump straight, You're always worried about a horse like a Styrian Forlonge, and he used to jump right as well, I think, so and when you put a Styrian Forlonge in against the wing, he couldn't physically get himself up off the ground. He had to do a sort of a sidestep before he jumped, so we just learned actually just give him room to do his sidestep, and he was fine. And it's really only in the last quarter of the race, maybe the last 2 fences or the last 3 fences, that it's really going to count. So you just hope that they're not racing as hard as you need to be at that stage, that you can actually just jump them. If you're only going 3/4 speed, you can jump a lot straighter than when you're going flat out. If they don't go on, we might just be as happy to let him roll along in front, especially now that he's got that race under his belt, and with the way he jumps, if we're allowed a lead, we'll take it. I think if you go back to his point to point, did you ever watch it? Yeah.
He was fine. He had no issues.
Oh, I wouldn't have said that.
do you feel that was more when it got to the deep end of the race, though?
No. We were worried about it, and actually when we spoke to the people who point to point at him, they said, he got over the bars or those point to point fences, but that was it. Like I'd have hated to have had those big stiff fences. It used to be. I don't know, we're schooling him and we're trying to give him confidence, and I wonder that a confidence thing, because you're always worried when a horse does that, has he got a physical problem? But we can't find any physical problem that should make him do that. And I just wonder, I can put cheek piece on him, I can blinkers on him. We haven't done that yet. We'll just give him time to learn, or to try and give him confidence. I think confidence is a big key with him.
Final demand, Willie? Will he lead the team for the Nathaniel I set?
Final demand? Yes, looks like it, yeah. Is he the best we've got in that race?
JASMIN.
SUPERSUNDAE, yeah. Where's all my list gone?
And Victoria's the winner just now.
Down Victorious, they're all fine horses.
Just that far in trip, do you think?
I think, does he need it? I'd say he needs it.
Does he?
Yeah.
He pulls hard, though, does he? No.
He probably does, but we can put something on him to stop him doing that. But I think a lot of our horses, a lot of the races we've contested in it have been very slow paces, and a lot of the horse in pull. So, and their second run, they'll probably drop it a bit too. The excitement will be gone out of their system, He will go for the 2 mile version. That's what's in my head this minute now, unless something else changes. Yeah.
He's an impressive looking horse, isn't he?
He is a fine horse, yeah. I mean, from the first day he came to the stable, I thought the same. I just, some horses hit you. Like, first day I saw Factifile, first day I saw MAJBOROUGH and Kate Doughty. They're just fine beasts that you'd want to buy and want to ride, get up on,
They ran against each other, didn't they, in France? They ran against each other in France, didn't they?
Who?
MAJBOROUGH and Kate Doughty.
Did they?
I think so, yeah.
I probably know that, but
Just a video of it.
forgotten that. Oh, he won't run. Next one will be Cheltenham, and
What do you think of that run, Willie? You seem to
I was very happy. I'm very happy with him. I thought jumping the third last, he had no chance. He'd blown up. He took a breather, and to do what he did, come back and beat them all, I said, wow. After pulling as hard as he did and running his race, and I'd be quite forgiving of him, knowing how long it took us to get him ready, and that the fact that he blew up, well then, I said he blew up, you know, he'll be much better the next day. And then he just got his second win and came out around them and beat them, you know, so to me that was good enough. It was very good.
Does he tend to jump a little bit better at home as well than what we saw the last day?
He jumps way better, yeah, he just pulled too hard. His head was into flying, not racing. And so I'm not worried about his jumping. We think he jumps very well. There'll be a lot stronger pace in Cheltenham and he'll let fly then.
What about KOPEK, the boards? Similar concept applied in terms
Cope-
of his jumping?
Yeah, I'm disappointed with him with his jumping now. I couldn't understand that because he jumps well at home. Just wondering, just have in my mind that there was another reason for that. Yeah, I think he jumps well enough at home. I just think I have another reason for that, which I'm going to change the next day. And it's not the jockey, even.
He's leaving the parade right now.
Yeah, well, I better.
From your headgear perspective, do you think? Or?
Yeah, I think it might be just what we had on him. We'll change it the next day. Yeah. I was really taken with her performance. I didn't expect that. I thought she was half decent, but I thought that was a huge performance. Knowing that she's only half ready, you know, so she's going to improve a lot, I hope.
You said Lady Vega Allen could be one to go right to the top.
She put in some run the other day, yeah, and you know, we were only hoping to get a run into her to see what she was like and what she did. So I think with normal improvement, she's going to be. Hopefully she'll put in a really good run in Dublin.
And that same day, MURCIA seemed a little bit disappointing.
Disappointing now. I think looking at her French form, she probably wants spring ground. She might be more a Punchestown mare.
Okay. And will she run at the DRF, do you think?
I imagine she'll run. She'll run, get experience, and
Sonny Bill obviously ran
so
well that
he
day as
ran well. Yeah, he had plenty of experience in France, and you know, so I don't know how much improvement's in him because he had all that experience. He might not have as much improvement as the other horse.
Okay, and you'd imagine they'll all be thrown in the pot and see what happens?
Yeah. He's good since. When was that race? And
Just
he won
over
it.
Christmas.
Fairy House.
Fairy
New
House
Year's Day,
after
was
New
it?
Year's Day, yeah.
New Year's Day.
Yeah, so he'd probably take his chance as well. So he will. Time-wise, it's fine, anyway. Yeah, are you talking about his hurl mark?
Yes.
Yeah, but it's lovely having that mark, but he mightn't get in
Oh, right.
because he's 45 and I think at max 25.
How many can you take out?
I don't know if we have that many in the race, but I was just looking at that this morning. That's the worry there. So we have to find a race where he can get in, you know.
Just one last
And
question.
then maybe that's as good as he is over hurl. Some horses are just better over a fence. So
Will the Grand National be the ultimate aim?
yeah,
Again?
yeah. He ran a cracker. Like he was right there at the last, if not the elbow last year. Probably well before the elbow. Probably at the
Has
last.
he won over hurdles for you?
I wouldn't think so. No.
Yeah, but he started around the same mark over fences, I'm sure, last year. About 116 or so.
You could be right. I can't remember.
Yeah. Because he improved rapidly, you know. He improved it.
Yeah, he did. Yeah. So.
Who was your best chance of a winner at the DRF?
Ooh.
It's a good one as well.
Ooh. I'll go with the horse behind you, Galopin Des Champs. We're going to back him up until he doesn't need.
GSI.
GSI, that's it. Yeah.